as you hop on here, you guys, make sure that you mute yourselves just so that there's not a ton of feedback. But I want to do our weekly recognition really quick. Just kind of give a few of you guys shout outs because y'all are crushing it. I am so proud of my girl Brandy. She's on this call. She's actually really sick, you guys. She's been sick for like a few weeks now, but she is officially at Success Club 6, which is amazing. She's also our top recruiter of the month so far. She hit Emerald. So how awesome is that? So I just wanted to shout her out. Natasha is actually our weekly volume earner so far this current week as well. And then we've got some people who are almost to Success Club. So Jessica Sanders is sitting at 4. Natasha is also sitting at 4. Mandy, Olivia, Kim, Jessica, Shanice, and Jernay are all at 2. You guys, I want you guys to all be at Success Club. I am actually very disappointed in myself, not going to lie, that I'm not on this board yet. You guys know that I shoot for Success Club 5 by the 5th. I sent out a bazillion links. No one's completed them yet. But guess what? That's okay. Not getting discouraged. I sent out a ton of invites today, and I will be on this board next week at Success Club 10. So if you are on this board at sitting at 4 or sitting at 2, I want you to challenge yourselves to go for 10. Go for helping 5 people total this month, you guys. I hate seeing people end the month at Success Club 4, and we're not even halfway through the month. So you've got some time, but I wouldn't wait until the end of the month to push for it, you guys. You need one more person to hit Success Club. Don't let yourself end at Success Club 4. Last month, we together helped 61 people. Let's double that. I'm pushing to double it. I'm pushing to get past what I hit last month, so I want you guys to do the same. Last week's recognition or rank advancements, Natasha got herself back to Diamond. She helped her spouse go Emerald, so she got her controlled business center to Emerald. She is back to a Diamond coach, and I forgot to post the person's picture. I'm so mad at myself right now. I will shout out the coach of the week in a minute. But we've got some new Emerald coaches as well that I want to shout out. Natalie, Brandy, Shanice all hit Emerald last week, and then Haley got herself back to Emerald as well. So shout out to you girls. The coach of the week and the rising star, I actually just did not put her picture up here, which is silly me, but it's Heather Carver. She helped her very first coach customer. She helped her very first customer today, which I am so proud of. And she's just crushing it. So sorry, Heather, that I did not put your picture on here. I went to do it and I got sidetracked. I've been multitasking for like a mad woman today, and obviously I'm not good at that. So I promise you, your picture will be up there next week. We added 7 coaches. We got 7 coaches added to our team in the last 7 days. Last week we had added 13 coaches. So I want to continue to double this, you guys. And with that being said, here's some opportunities for you guys to be able to add coaches to your team, to be able to help our team grow. We're doing an Emerald University next Monday, the 18th at 7 p.m. right before this call. So if you are not an Emerald coach, you guys, even if you maybe were on our last Emerald University, sometimes it takes a few times to listen to something before it clicks. So get on it. If you are an Emerald coach and you're like, well, I don't really need Emerald University, get on the call anyway. I know Natasha was on it last week, and that's what helped her get her husband back to Emerald, which made her go Diamond, right? So get on those calls if you have big goals in this business. If you want to be Emerald, if you want to be Diamond, those calls are going to help you. We also have a coach sneak peek next Wednesday. So if you are on that Emerald call, we're going to teach you all about Emerald, what that is, how it works. But we're also going to give you the opportunity to invite people to our sneak peek, which is that Wednesday, and we're going to host it for you. We're going to do all the work for you guys. All you have to do is invite people to join. So if you're pushing for Emerald or pushing for Diamond, that sneak peek, mark your calendar down. That's where you want to invite your girls to. And then anyone that signs up between now and then, we also are going to have a new coach kickstart call on that Saturday. So any of your girls that sign up from Monday to Wednesday will be allowed. Obviously, anyone can get on the calls, but it's going to be a really good opportunity for them to like just go right into coaching. So we have it set like that for a reason. It's going to be helpful to get your coaches started right when they sign up. This is our week this week. Obviously, Cosy is talking on tonight's call. You had the National Wake Up Call this morning. If you didn't get a chance to listen to it, highly recommend it. It was amazing. I'm going to be going live in the team page tomorrow to talk about how to master inviting. We're going to be doing a Snoop group for 21 Day Fix, for the portion fix, the ultimate portion fix on Wednesday. Obviously, payday and recognition is Thursday. And we've been doing Saturday morning workouts for anyone that wants to jump one at 7:30. Obviously, that Zoom link, you guys all know that y'all can jump on it at any time to work out. But a lot of us have been trying to get on around the same time on a Saturday because we know that during the week it's kind of hard to get on all together. So if y'all want to join us, you're more than welcome. You're not required to. It's just optional. Like I said, we're going to do a Snoop group that opens on Wednesday for the ultimate portion fix. It launches on March 18th for clients. So if you haven't been talking about this program, you guys, I literally sent this whole page of invites today, and I'm not done. Obviously, I still have a few more lines left just for the ultimate portion fix. And all these people in blue said that they were interested. So this is something that people need. People need help with nutrition. I did polls on my stories today, and I had like so many people commenting saying like, yep, I struggle with that. Yep, I struggle with that. Yep, I struggle with that. You can go look at my stories if you want to get an idea of how to do it. But that's who I'm reaching out to, saying, hey girl, I saw you say you struggle with sugar addiction. Would you be interested in this new nutrition program, right? That's going to help you learn how to combat that. So we're going to be doing like an info group, Snoop group. We've done these before for all of our other programs. But it's basically just going to be the basic information for them to learn. So if you have people that are interested, but maybe they're on the fence about it, we'll plug them into the Snoop group. They'll get all the information. You can follow up with them to see if they're interested and get them signed up on Monday. If they want to sign up earlier, they can sign up as a coach and get instant access. Coach Summit, just a little reminder, tickets are still on sale, so get your tickets, you guys. Coach Summit is something that you do not want to miss. I promise you that. It's an amazing experience if you're brand new and you need more information about what Summit is, or if you can, like how you get to earn your ticket or how you can go, just send me a message and I can chat with you more about it. And then last thing that I want to cover before we get into the call is if you are not on the wait list for next year's Success Club trip, you guys, get on the opt-in list. I don't care if you've never hit Success Club in your life. I don't care if you don't even know what Success Club is yet. Get on the opt-in list, because if you are consistently helping people, you have that chance to earn that trip next year. And I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on it if you are, you're earning all these Success Club points or helping all these people, and then you're not even on the opt-in list to get invited. So opt in. I know Christian got invited already for next year's trip. Ashley got invited. I don't know if anyone else has gotten invited yet, but I have a feeling that people like Natasha, Shelby, Erin, all these people who are consistently hitting Success Club, Kim, Jolene's like definitely gonna get invited. She's pushing for it, girlfriend. So I have a feeling you guys are gonna get that invite soon, and I don't want anyone missing out on it. So just go, I think it's like successclubtrip2020.com. Just opt in on that list. If you opt in and you get invited, you're not like required to go. So there's no hurt in opting in. All right, so I'm super excited about tonight's team call. This is Cosy, you guys. She's a 5-star Diamond 2019 Elite Coach. She's the founder of Team Fusion, and she has been in Success Club for 36 months. So she has helped at least 3 to 5 people every month for 36 months in a row, which is amazing. And she's going to be talking to you guys about like sticking it out for the long haul and how to build a business that lasts long term. So I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen so that she can start talking to you guys. But yeah, I'm going to mute myself. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the little chat, and we'll go from there. At the end, we'll open it up to questions for Cosy.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm super simple and not fancy at all. So just if you have questions, just type them in the chat and I'll answer them as I go. So I'll kind of start with my story, because a lot of you probably have no clue like who I am or where I started. So if you know who Micah Folsom is, she's my sister-in-law. And I mean, my whole life I've struggled with my weight. Like I don't remember the time when I first struggled. I mean, all through like even middle school, high school, I always struggled with my weight. So there, of course, when she told me that she was doing this new program, I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to do it, because hello, I've tried everything and nothing worked clearly. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so she talked me into signing up as a coach for the discount. And I used to be a brat, and I was like, there's no way. And we're like really close. So I was super honest. I'm like, I'm never going to share anything about it. I'm never going to post a video. I'm never going to do any of that. And so I told her that, and she's like, you don't have to. So that was 5.5 years ago. And so I literally just signed up to lose weight. Okay. Because I tried everything in the past, and hello, it didn't work. I couldn't stick with it. So I was looking for anything new. And I remember we were driving to Montana, because I'm from Montana, and she told me that she made like $400 in that first month that she was coaching. And I was like, yeah, right. So that was always in the back of my mind that she made that. So fast forward to like, probably like a year and a half past that, you guys, I did not coach. I just did the programs. I was a fly on the wall all the time. And I had been doing massage therapy for about, at that time, it was like 7 years. And I was working like 6 to 7 days a week. And of course, in school, they tell you that you're going to make all this money, and you don't. And I was burnt out. Like, my body physically couldn't do massage all the time. Like, that's a perfect thing to do if you want to do it part-time and have a supplement income. But I am not married. So I fully, like, my income was my income. So I was super burnt out. So I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do? So I was super interested in physical therapy. So I did all my prereqs to apply to a physical therapy assistant program. And I got in, and I kind of didn't realize how much I was going to actually be at school, because prereqs, obviously, you just go a few hours here and there, depending on how many credits you're taking. So once I got into the program, I was like, holy crap, I'm not going to be able to like work much. And so I like was kind of nervous, because I don't want to take out a bunch of loans to live, but it's not like I had all this money and savings to support myself. So I was like, okay, Micah, let me try to do this, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of when I first started a little bit. That was like when I first tried, but we all know that a lot of people kind of go in and out of the business, and it's silly to do that, because that just makes it harder for all of us to go in and out, because you're starting from zero. Every time you back off, you're starting from zero. Every time you back off, you lose the trust of people that are following you. So I obviously made it harder on myself. And I remember one time this was probably like 2.5 years ago, probably. I don't know the exact time. I was doing my workout, and I used to work out in my room, this tiny, tiny little area in my room. And I was texting Micah, and she was saying it was close to the end of the month, and I probably was not at Success Club, and she was telling me to put up like some sort of call to action post. And I was like, I'm like, I hate posting. And I was just being super negative. And she's like, well, then quit. And I was like, no, I'm not going to quit. I'm not quitting. So that was kind of that switch. And I was like, hey, I just need to stop being a baby about this and just do it, instead of just kind of sort of doing it. I just need to go all in and do it, because I had never to that point, like, actually done the full trainings and actually sent invites all the time. It was like couple at the last few days of the month, I would try to do it, because I felt like I needed to, I didn't have those goals to why I even wanted to do this. So that was the first time that I was like, hey, I need to just do this. You guys, it took me a while to get to Diamond. But it's more because I didn't believe in myself. I was super self-conscious, and I used the whole I'm not at my goal weight for a really long time. Nobody wants me to be their coach. I can't even stick to it myself fully. So that was part of, like, that took a lot of like self-work, a lot of personal development. I literally was listening or reading something any spare time I had. I stopped watching TV at all. I stopped listening to music in my car. It was all personal development. So like, I'm a huge believer of personal development, because I know that it's changed my life. Like, over anything, the community and the friends that I've made and personal development have changed my life over anything else. The products and everything are amazing, don't get me wrong, but those are the things that actually helped propel my business and helped just change who I was as a person, because I was surrounded by really awesome people, and I thought of myself differently. When I was having negative thoughts, I knew how to like switch them. So then I finally started to get some momentum. And you guys, I was I was just talking like last week on somebody's team call about it, like the first year of when you actually are signing up to coach or working the business, it's hard. It feels like you're barely keeping your head above water. And if people say that it's not, like, I feel like they're lying to you, because it's hard. It's mentally hard, emotionally hard. And I honestly, that when I finally was working the business, I was sending invites. I was legit doing my power hour every single day, every day. And I still was struggling to hit Success Club, but I did it anyways. And I did it for that whole first year. And guess what? Now Success Club isn't a problem. Like, it's not hard, but that whole, like, probably like a solid 6 to 8 months of doing the work consistently, like, it was hard, because I truly think that a lot of people say, like, what you do this month is going to reflect what it is next month. I truly believe it's like 6 months out. In my opinion, that's how my business has rolled. If you back off now, the summer is going to be really difficult for you. And that's just how it is. People like to follow and watch you for a really long time. I mean, how long did you watch your coach before signing up? How many times did they send you invites before signing up? If you're sending invites and you're getting ghosted and hearing no, well, welcome to the club. That's all of us. We all get that. Even if, I mean, I talk to Mike all the time about it. She's like, I get ghosted all the time. People will still stalk me, watch your stories every single day, like every single post, and then still ghost you. And, you know, it happens to every single person. So don't think that that's just you and that you're not a awesome coach and people don't want to follow you if people don't write you back, because I promise that happens to every single person. Another thing that kind of helped me change just my mindset. So how many of you kind of hate Thursdays? Like, whether that's you then see who's going inactive, you see everybody that's getting shouted out and you're not. Obviously the paycheck is awesome, but sometimes your paycheck's not what you expect it to be. When you think about how hard you work that week. I personally hated Thursday because I was never shouted out. I was never reaching goals to where you were being recognized. And it was that hard time between going in and out of Diamond, and 1-star, 2-star felt really far away. And I had like a big mindset shift. I was talking to my success partner and she was kind of in the same boat. And of course, like, we were complaining probably about it. And finally I was like, okay, I need to completely switch that mindset. So the next week I made it to where I told myself I have to comment on every single shout out that is posted that I see, comment, congratulate them, regardless if I felt genuinely happy for them. Like, obviously you're happy for them, but you know what? When people grow their business, they worked for it. It's not just handed to them. So I was like, stop acting this way. And guess what? A year later, people will be like, yeah, Cosy comments and likes on everybody's stuff. Like, she's always, and I still do. But it totally changed that mindset of, like, for a while, obviously I felt kind of fake doing it because I was still bugged about it. But then it totally switched my mindset. Like, all of a sudden I was actually really, really happy for these people. And I actually noticed that they worked their butt off. And then all of a sudden I was reaching different goals that I was being able to be recognized for. So instead of taking these things that just you dwell on, things that you don't like or things that are bugging you, like, put your blinders on and time. So some people are going to grow faster in this business. Obviously, we all know that the only way to fail in this business is if you just straight up quit. And I believe that 100%. But some people come into this business with different skill sets already there. Everything in this business, between leadership, inviting, everything, you can learn. You can learn it. I used to be super awkward and super shy. So, like, posting any type of video was terrible. But I'm getting better at it, you know? So, but I didn't get better at it by just not doing it. So I think everything in this business you can learn. But some people come into it with different skills already there. And some people don't have to learn as much. And you just have to, like, that's just the reality of it. But you can always get there, okay? Your hard work never goes unnoticed. It's never not rewarded if you legitimately put in the hard work. It might not be on your timeline. It might not be as fast as somebody else, but hard work's always going to be rewarded in due time. Okay. And sometimes that's hard to like embrace. I mean, I've been a coach for 5.5 years, and guess what? It took me 4 years to actually start to feel that my hard work was being rewarded. But guess what? Now I finished school. I worked for about 6 months part-time, and then realized if I actually put in 20 extra hours of work, like Beachbody work, I'd be making a lot more. So I do this full time, and I've done it for 1.5 years, and it's been the best thing ever. But in the moment when I was really struggling, it's hard to relate to your future self, and hard to relate to, like, is this going to be worth it? Sometimes no. You feel like it's not going to, but it is. Okay. Another thing that I did in that period where I was super struggling was every night I went to bed, I would, and it sounds so corny, but I would ask myself, like, are you proud of yourself? Did you actually put in the work that you are telling your coach, or did you actually put in the work that you feel like is going to grow the business? And that can go for anything in life, honestly, whether that's in your fitness journey, your friendships, your relationships, the business. Like, are you proud of yourself when you go to bed? Can you do more? If the answer is yes, you better wake up and make that happen the next day. Okay. And only you can answer that. Literally only you can answer that, because you know what you're doing. You know the effort you're putting in. You know, if you finish your day and you're like, I got everything done. Today was an awesome day and I feel really good about it. Or days you go to sleep and you're like, I could have done a lot more. So only you can answer that for yourself. I went to a Tony Robbins event, and he said, he said, if you don't have 30 minutes a day, but I say, if you don't have an hour a day to work on your goals, you have weak ass goals. And that's very true. If you don't feel like you can wake up 30 minutes earlier and stay up 30 minutes later to work your business, your goals aren't big enough. You don't have a big enough why behind them. So you need to figure that out and change that, because again, nobody can do that for you. Nobody can help like get that fire in your belly and just help you work towards those goals. Okay. Like, if you're not at where you want to be right now, something has to change, whether that's your habits. You need to get up earlier. You need to be better at connecting. I do actually not pride myself, but I connect like a boss. Like, I am always commenting and liking on people's stuff. And granted, that might be because I don't have kids. And when I'm at home, it's not like I'm neglecting other people. So I unplug Saturdays and Sundays. I'll still post, but I'm not sending invites. I'm not doing that. But the rest of the week, I'm connecting and showing love on people's stuff constantly. And then people trust me. Like, there's been lots of people that come back and just love that they feel like I actually care about their life, and I do. And connecting should be nothing about the business necessarily. That's more inviting. When you're connecting, act interested in what people are doing all the time, because they're not going to care what you're doing if you're not caring what they are doing. And usually you have to make that first initial connection. Okay. So, I mean, that's part of my what I do. I literally, you guys, I don't do anything special. I've just been consistent, and it's been over time. I send 15 invites a day. I don't send an insane amount all the time, but I'm connecting. And that's where I feel like my business has grown, because I do connect well with people, connect all the time. Okay. So that when I send those invites, people know who I am. Obviously there's times where I do send kind of cold invites, but for the most part, when I send those invites, I always have people to invite because I'm connecting. And I always tell people, if you legit have an insane day where you can't sit down and send invites, always sit down and connect. Like Mike always says, you go to the bathroom multiple times a day. Take your phone with you and connect with 5 people every time you go to the bathroom. So, I mean, I did that all the time when I was in school. I'd take my phone and go connect a little bit. Because nobody's going to be like, why were you in the bathroom so long? That'd be awkward. So I don't know. More than anything, I would just say if you need to up anything, for me personally, it was always my connecting. So that's kind of all I have. I just think that I guess 6 years. I'll be a coach in July for 6 years. That's crazy to even think about. That was weird how I said that, but I don't know. I would not want to do anything else. I would not want to have to go to work every single day where I have to leave my house. Like, I live in Utah and it's snowy and gross all the time in the winter. I just couldn't imagine having to like drive to work every day again. So I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. And I don't know. I've not a couple friends, but acquaintances, they'll say like, that you've taught people, what do they say? You've taught people how to do the work that you're getting paid for. I was like, what? No, totally called them out. I was like, no, because I still do the work that I have my coaches do. I do it every single day, and I do more than they do still. My numbers are still higher, so I'm clearly still doing the work. So as long as you're still doing the work, your power hour, you guys, I'll show you my power hour because it's so simple. Like, if you look at my Instagram, my posts, I don't use fancy presets. I don't use all this fancy stuff all the time. I'm just pretty simple. But I literally write this 5 days a week, 5 coaching invites, 10 challenge group. And then obviously if there's like a sneak peek, I'll invite more to coaching or I'll up that. But this is just like a daily thing. I have my daily affirmations, 3 things I'm grateful for, 2 coaches and challengers that I reach out to every day. So that forces me to check in on challengers. And lots of times those are the people that I don't see that are checking into the app all the time. Try to reach out to the people that I don't see. You know, what you did for PD, what workout did you do? And then did you stick to your meal plan? And then what your Success Club and your coaches added that month. And then just like notes. But this is all I do every day. And I still love it. And I've done it since like last summer. And I love it. And I post it in my team page so that they can see, like, we have a post where people post their power hours. And I know that seems so like juvenile in a way, like we should all just do our power hour and not have to post it. But I want them to see that I'm still doing the things that they're doing. I'm not just like sitting back and not doing it. So I post that, and I think it helps them to have a place to be accountable with it, because it's really easy when you just kind of have to like show up for yourself. It's easy not to do this stuff that we know we should be doing, because no one really knows if we do it, you know, because if you're sending invites, that's in your inbox. Your coach isn't going to be in your inbox. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions at all?
I have a question, Cosy.
Right.
So what would you like? I know you said in the beginning you were like, you weren't doing inviting, you weren't really sharing your journey. Like, was there certain fears that you had to, like, what was the biggest fear? Because we have a lot of new coaches on here. So I know as a new coach, it's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to start like inviting, or to start sharing your journey, or to start like posting your workouts. Like, maybe what personal development book or what kind of struck you to like actually start doing those things?
Okay, so my 2 favorite personal development books that really, I think, switched my mindset when I was working, and I know the book 6 Months to 6 Figures sounds so superficial, but it's awesome. I think I've listened to it like 2 or 3 times back to back, and it's an awesome book. It's so good to listen to. And it's not all about money at all. It's just the name kind of sounds funny. So I always, when people ask, I'm like, I love that one. It makes me sound like I'm superficial. I'm not. But another one, I mean, if you haven't listened to, and I'm big on listening because I was driving a lot from school and stuff. Brene Brown, I love her. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember? Power of Vulnerability. That's probably my favorite book. That's what I needed, because you guys, I was like so scared of what people thought of me. I mean, I think a lot of women in general, we're people pleasers. We don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to, you know, we want everybody to like us. And once I kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't care what you think. She was my roommate. I was her maid of honor when I started coaching, she was super into CrossFit, which is fine. But she started acting weird. So I confronted her about it once, and she was like, well, I don't support your beach body. And I was like, well, like, that's part of my life now. And I'm sorry if you don't support it. But that's my life. And that kind of threw me off for a while because we actually like stopped talking. But then probably a year later, she told me that the only she was like, she like unfollowed me on everything. Super like nice, but she unfollowed me on everything, and she was like, and then like a year later we like met up, and she like followed me again, and she told me, she's like, I'm sorry I acted that way. I wasn't in a good place in my life. I hated my job. She was like a cop. And she was like, I just don't want to see anybody else happy. And I was like, and it's so true that when people react a certain way towards you, it's, you guys, every time it's 100% something to do with them. Because if other people do stuff, and if you're like secure with who you are as a person, you don't really care what they do. You might scroll and might read it for a second, but you don't care. You know what I mean? So if you have anybody, whether it's family, friends, or complete strangers, if they act a certain way towards you, you guys, I promise, because I almost needed that to happen to fully realize that it is something to do with them. Stuff that they're dealing with, you have no idea what it is. Just keep loving on them. That's all you can do. Literally, that's all you can do. And at some point, they'll come around or they won't. And if they don't come around, then they weren't meant to be in your life. Because if you're growing as a person, once even asked her to join, she was just that unhappy that she was super turned off about it. So my internet's unstable. Hopefully,
you're good. It like cuts out, but it kind of kicks back, and you're fine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, and that was like a situation that kind of made me realize that I can't. And you guys, we hear these quotes all the time, like all the stuff that Rachel Hollis always says was, your other people's opinions are none of your business. They don't pay your bills. And once you honestly get to that point that you do not care what other people think, you're gonna repel those people that aren't ready for you to change your life. And then you're gonna attract all these people that are perfect that you need in your life and that they need you in their life. And I've totally seen that. There's been people on my team that I never, you guys, I normally, if I saw them on the street, I probably would never, ever talk to them. I wouldn't actually be their friend, but this business has brought these people into my life, and they're some of my best friends. And we don't even have that much in common other than we want to help people and freaking grow as a person, help our families. And so that's more powerful than other people that, you might repel. And that's okay, because that's just how it is for all of us. So that's kind of where I was ready to, I was just sick of living the same way. And I knew that I had to change something if it was going to change. If my life was going to change, I had to actually change how I was thinking about myself. And you guys, the affirmation, stuff like that is so silly. It sounds so silly, but when you do it consistently, it absolutely will change your life. And then you believe these things that you're telling yourself all the time. Why do we have all these negative thoughts about ourselves? Because we say it, we've said it for years. So when you change that, it's going to seem silly. And I always think that it seems corny and silly, but like when you have these negative thoughts come in your mind, like, and it sounds so funny, but you need to I would talk to myself and be like, okay, I am releasing the feelings of like unworthiness, sadness, anxiety, like judgment, stuff like that. I'm releasing them. And I would keep saying that. And then I would be like, I accept feelings of love, people wanting to be around me, good friends, stuff like that. And it works. And you can't explain it until you do it, but it just works. And I don't know why, but I just did it over and over and over.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of times, this is with anything, like you said, you could do this in your fitness, your nutrition. If you sit here and you tell yourself like, I can't do this workout, I can't follow a meal plan, I can't finish a program from start to finish. You guys, you're not going to be able to do it. I can't hit diamond. I can't start sharing my journey. I can't step outside my comfort zone. Like if you're saying all of those things, that's what's going to happen. Like our minds are so powerful, so powerful. And if you sit here and you tell yourself, like you might, I'm not saying you can say, I'm a millionaire, and you're all of a sudden going to be a millionaire, right? But like, if you start telling yourself, like, I am a good leader, I am capable of becoming that, right? You really do start to believe it. So, and when you start to believe it, you gain more confidence in yourself. When you start to believe it, you gain more confidence in your conversations with people. When you start to believe it, you gain more confidence in your journey and in all of the things, right? So that's the power of affirmations. We had a leader call last night, and I wrote down affirmations about like me being a good leader, and I put them on my on a sticky note on my computer so that I can see them when I woke up today. And I read them out loud, and I've read them as people are telling me no, and as people are making mean comments or whatever, right? I didn't get any mean comments today, but you know what I mean? Like, I just have them in front of my face at all times. So like affirmation and personal development, we don't just tell you guys to read that because it's fun. Like we tell you guys to read it or listen to it because it really does make a huge difference. So I love that you like touched on that. For people who maybe have been in the business, like I know you've been in the business for almost 6 years, and I know like I've been in the business for almost 5. I know it can be discouraging when like you said, like when you see all these people rank advancing, or you see all these people like coming into the network and like doing all the things that you thought you would be where they are, right? What would you say to someone who's maybe been in the network for a while, but they haven't really gone all in? Like they've like dipped their toes, taken it out. Like, is there any advice that you would like give them to like just go all in? Other than saying just go all in.
Stop doing that, because you guys, when you kind of go, because I have coaches that do it all the time too. You go all in, you guys, you lose that trust of your people that are following you when you do that. I mean, how many of us, I'm not going to go to somebody that kind of sort of goes crazy when they're posting about stuff, and then all of a sudden they disappear. And you always hear people say that analogy. Would you go to a store? Would you drive an hour to go to your favorite store if you're not sure if they're going to be open? Probably not. Okay. But if you for sure know their set hours, you know exactly when they're going to be open, you're going to trust that they're going to be there. So if you're going to kind of go in and out, you guys, people always say when you take a step back from the business, you're like back at zero. I think that you're back at negative, like you're going negative because you lose the trust from people. And not saying that you can't gain that back. It's just harder. You're making it so much harder on yourself when you do that instead of just doing the basics every day. That's why I don't send 1 million invites a day, because I don't want to feel burnout. I still want to enjoy this business and what I'm doing. I don't send 1 million because I don't want to get to that point where if I'm just doing stuff over and over and over every day, as long as I'm doing that, then my business is still moving forward. Okay. As long as I'm growing as a person, my business is still moving forward. Don't think that you have to go and send 100 invites every single day. Okay. Cause that's exhausting. Like I said, if you're inviting to a specific group and there's a launch or something at that point, then yeah, you should maybe up your invites at that time. But on a daily basis, in my opinion, that's how I work. I would get burnt out, and you need to have times where you're unplugged and you're with your families and you're not on your phone. Okay. I don't know if you guys have heard of Brad Bizjack. I finally did one of his trainings, and it was awesome. And he said that people that get burnt out, it's because you're always thinking about your business. You're always thinking about the things you need to do, but you're not actually doing them. Instead of just busting it out, getting it done, and stepping away from your business, that's when you don't get burnt out, because you're actually getting crap done. You're not just sort of doing it. You're not thinking about it all the time. You're just doing it and stepping away. So I would suggest to have certain days of the week that you are unplugged. And he's like, what did he say? For him, Friday, Saturday, he's like, I don't even take pictures. Cause I mean, how many of us on the weekend, we're still like, I need to take this picture so I have it to post later. So we're still thinking about the business all the time. You need to have times that you're literally not thinking about the business. You're being super present. But that doesn't mean to half-assed the rest of the time. If you are doing your business, then you won't feel like you need to be thinking about it every time you're supposed to be unplugged. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Does anyone else have questions, you guys? Any questions for Cosy? This is your chance to ask her anything. You can ask her anything you want. Put her on the spot. No, I'm just kidding.
It doesn't have to be what we've even been talking about.
Right. Like if you guys have any questions for her, feel free to ask. Anything?
If you need that podcast, Brad has an awesome podcast.
Yeah, I just wrote his name down. Is he a coach?
So he used to be a coach and is now just doing like trainings, like motivational. It's all mindset. It's not like a business training. It's all mindset, but it's awesome.
Awesome. So, yeah, I'll have to check that out. I do have one more question for you. So I know, like, obviously I do this full time too, but we have a lot of people who juggle work and kids and all the things, right? What did you do when you were working full time? Like, I know you said you took your phone to the bathroom when you were in school, but like, what did you do in terms of like, did you have set business hours where you worked in a set time zone, or like you did power pockets like throughout your day? Like, what advice would you give to the girls on here who do work full time or who do have kids and work full time, or, you know, any of that? Like, what would your suggestion for that be?
Yeah. So, I mean, I got up early. I sacrificed sleep a little bit. I would always, like, my schedule with school was pretty much, I would get up at 5, drink my pre-workout. I would read for about 20 minutes while it kind of set in, do my workout, and then I would obviously post in the challenge group, shower, get ready. And then I would go to school, and my school was like 30 minutes away. So that's when I would listen to some type of PD, get all that in. And then at lunch, I would, like, I mean, you can't really have your phone out all the time. So at lunch, I would just answer any messages that I might have had even from the night before that I didn't answer or anything. And we got like 30 minutes for lunch, sometimes less, depending if like lab went over. And then once I got home at like 5, that's when I'd sit down. You guys, I promise that I literally did not even like a full set hour. I probably did 45 minutes on average of invites, connecting, adding to my network during that time right when I go home from school. So then I would have the rest of the night to study. And then just before I go to bed, I would try to like clear my inbox. But that's the thing I understand, because I mean, new coaches, sometimes it's like, how do people send invites and how do they do all these things in an hour? But you just get better at it. The more you do it, the faster you're going to get at it, and you're not going to overthink, and you're not going to think like, well, should I send this invite? You just do it. So you like just keep doing it, because that's how you're going to get faster and better and more efficient at it. And you're going to get more confident in responding to people, because that was always a big thing. I'm like, I don't want to invite people because when they say yes, I don't know what to say. But I would freak out about that because I didn't know what to say. But I lots of times would mess up, and thank goodness we have voice messaging, because that's 100 times easier than typing out a big thing. But you don't get better at it unless you just do it. We all have called people the wrong name. We've all, so you just got to keep doing it. And guess what? I'll like look back at messages and I'm like, I totally like I just said the wrong name. Hey, whatever, wrong name. And she ignored me probably.
I've done that too many times.
I'll be like autocorrect and they know they're not stupid.
Yeah.
But I would, and I still just keep loving on their page. And then guess what? A year later, they're a coach on my team, so it happens to all of us. You just got to be okay to look kind of dumb at first, and it's okay. We've all been there. So it's.
Yeah. And one thing, you guys, I want to and if no one else has questions, then after this we can go. But one of the things that I remember hearing at Summit, like my very first Summit, was like, you can't say the wrong things to the right people. Like the people that need this will hear your heart. The people that need this and want this will hear, even Lindsay. I always use Lindsay as my perfect example, because she's my very first coach that signed up on my team almost 5 years ago. And I remember when she reached out to me, I literally sent this long ass message. It was probably a book of this is what the 21 Day Fix is, and this is what you eat, and this is how it works. And it was I don't even know if she read it. I don't know why she would. I wouldn't have read it. I really wouldn't have. I would have been crazy. but she did, or she at least reached out to me and said like, okay, like let's meet up, let's go over it more, right? And she signed up, you guys. And like I look back at that conversation, I was like, oh my God, like that was awful. Like I would never send that to someone now because I know that most people wouldn't read that. But she needed it. She knew she needed it, and she knew me, right? It wasn't that we were strangers, but she knew me. She knew my intention was good, and she signed up. So you can never say the wrong things to the right people. You can never invite the wrong people. Like if they need this, and you reach out to them at that perfect time, and you don't know if it's the perfect time. You won't know. Like I've had people that 5 years later are like, okay, I'm ready now. Thank you for continuing to follow up with me year after year, month after month, right? You never know. I had a girl today tell me like she ignored my message. I sent her a message on February 22nd. She never responded to me. She just messaged me today, you guys, and said, hey, look, I'm sorry I didn't respond to you. I totally ghosted you. She was like, because I was really afraid. I really need to change, and I wasn't willing to admit it. I saw your post today, and I'm ready. Okay, like, and I didn't reach back out to her. I didn't follow up with her yet. I had her on my list, but I hadn't followed up with her yet because she just ghosted me. She never responded to me. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get to her later, right? But something clicked today, and she messaged me. So you would never know. But if you quit, guess what? They're going to go to your page, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to be like, oh, gosh, she's not doing that anymore, right? Or if you not necessarily quit, but go MIA. Like, that's the consistency. That's the power of consistency. So just know that you can't say anything to the wrong people or to the right people. Yeah, can't say anything to the right people. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Cosy. Seriously, you're amazing. I wrote down a few notes. I'm going to definitely check out Brad Bijak.
His podcast is called The Path to Mindset Mastery. And he doesn't have a ton on there yet, but it's awesome. His training's been amazing. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into him because I love any type of podcast and extra mindset work. But yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Y'all go shout Cosy out on your Instagram stories. If you took a picture, tag her in it. Show her some love because she took the time out tonight to show us some love. So we need to reciprocate that. Okay, you guys? All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. See y'all next Monday.
Yeah.